Right. Good, possibly morning. I'm really not sure. Welcome everybody back to my log, and, right, well, I am approximately 6.97 kilometers away from base, and well within the actual, like, max range of the antenna over there, but it is highly apparent that this rover does not currently have the capacity to really travel too far. Right now, it does actually have a fair bit of charge to it. I can, in fact, engage things. We have about an hour or so. Okay, yep, good. And unfortunately, despite my best efforts, we have in fact identified not a single dot whatsoever of cobalt. I was hoping that we would find some, but the best thing I can find is iron and nickel. So we're gonna head back to base, pretty much, and see if we can't address alternative kind of schemes here, because it's clear we're not gonna have access to cobalt for a while. At least not until I have a better solution to the power situation for this rover, because the solar panel does work. I did have to pretty much leave it for an entire day just to get an hour's worth out of it. But it needs something significantly more substantial, and that's going to require that we get significantly more ingenious and significantly more industrious. Now, I could also probably do with increasing its max speed. That much has to be said. 10, 15 meters per second is not really that high, but there's that, I guess. Do I want to stop by these deposits on my way? It's probably not that worth it. I did have a significant panic moment, actually, in this cockpit, because I realized I haven't actually checked. I haven't, paid attention to what the arc is of the sun around here, so consequently, there was a good few hours last night where I thought I might have ended up in a valley that never caught sun. Fortunately, I realized our coordinate system is actually based on the angle of the sun's orbit, or us around the sun, to be more specific, I guess. And that means that if we subtract from the y-axis, then we go downwards relative to the sun, but not necessarily downwards relative to the planets. So I made two GPS coordinates, shifted one down about 20 meters, and that gave me a line indicating the plane of rotation of the sun, and that's, thankfully, we're not dead bottom of the Earth. We are actually slightly tilted, because the Earth, of course, is on an axial tilt, and consequently, you can still get sun in most places around this area. That would have been rather embarrassing to find myself, 7 kilometers away from base with no power. But, yay, lucky me. But, we're just gonna drive on home, and, hopefully that won't take too terribly long. But, I will resume this log when I actually get back to base. So, see you all momentarily, I guess. Well, momentarily from your side of the view. Quite a ways from mine. Oh, home sweet home. Such as it is, just on the horizon. It's been nice to have a little ride, I guess. It's been nice to have a little trip out. But, I am gonna be so happy to... Whoa. Hang on. Are you kidding me? Because that's... Hang on, engage... what? No, you've got to be joking. How is that even... This ore detector only goes 50 meters. How is that detecting it 60 plus away? Okay, let's see... Can I get directly on top of that? about here, I think? I mean, I gotta check this out. There's no way I can leave that alone. Although, granted, 55 meters is quite a distance to go down by hand here. But I do have full hydrogen. If there's anybody at home who, like, somehow thinks I'm just, like, planning everything that goes on in these logs, categorically not. I was legitimately planning a whole other, like, sequence of events coming on after this, but no, we're picking up cobalt. We are picking up cobalt.
Inventory full.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make a trip to the rover to actually put stuff in it, which admittedly it was designed for. It was designed for this exact purpose, with all that storage in the back. So we just park you there. Dump as much stuff as I can into you. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I guess the brakes aren't that good. I need a handbrake or something in this. Okay, is that good enough? Not really. Okay, rotate. Rotate 90 degrees to the axis of falling. That should suffice. Good. Okay, fine. Oh, I have to... there's no way I can just leave this down here. Like, that has to be... No. That has to come back with me. That and a whole freaking ton of ice, which admittedly we are not the least bit short on. I can tell you that much. We have seen so much ice. So much ice. Including right here, in fact. Okay, there's probably no way that I'm going to be able to actually, like, get to this, is there? Okay, right. Well, we know it's here, but I need a means of getting to it, which means I need a miner. An actual dedicated mining device. Because this drill works, it's just very slow. Particularly because there's the whole, like, dig it and then pick it up and all sorts back and forth that I have to do. But okay, we've hit rock. Hey, there's something. Next one. All the weight's in the back. It's probably going to feel much better when it's actually, like... Oh, it's actually... Wait, no, it didn't actually, distributed more. Come on, bright blue. Show me that bright blue. I'm definitely not going to see bright blue just yet, but, you know, we've got a ways to go still. This is also, just by the by, categorically not the kind of, drillsmanship. Definitely not like the way that you should actually be using your drills. Any of you that get here, but I'm in a definite hurry. Like, we've been looking for this for so long.
Inventory full.
Okay, if I can back up. Okay, I'm gonna keep digging. Well, it definitely says it's down there, but I've picked up so much ice and rock now that the rover doesn't have very much left in it. So we're gonna have to head on back. And hopefully I don't run out of power before I get there. But we're really taxing the batteries here. It's gonna be very happy when it's empty. Oof. Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah, don't wanna grab flashing lights on screen if you guys are watching this. So the batteries are very small. I should have built larger batteries onto this thing. But, well, here we are. So we know there's cobalt right over that way. Need to remember that. Should have left a GPS point. Damn. Okay, I will run back and, like, add a GPS point, but, you know, we need to get over here first. Particularly because there's, like, relatively flat ground up here, and the rover will probably not ride off into the sunset if I bring it up here. Provided I can bring it up here. Come on. Come on. There you go, there's the crest. Just gotta bring you out there. And turn ya. And keep turning ya. Until such a point as you stop trying to move forwards, ideally. Okay, brakes on. They're probably not good for much, but they're on. Okay, so the direction we came from... that was on the left, so it was somewhere over here. Ah, dang it. Okay. Found it. Found it. It's right here. Right here and down a long ways. But right here. Somewhere down here. Right here. But, we found cobalt. We just have to actually get to it. Oh, that's good to know. I'll grab this rock while I'm here. Well, I tried. So it's like 50-ish, well, a fair, a couple dozen meters. Like a dozen meters, but it's down there. Okay. We know this. Good. Right, on to what I was actually planning on doing when I was just driving back here, I guess. There's a few modifications that we need to make to the rover. The rover functions admirably, but as you might have noticed, it has a few performance issues. We need to give it a bigger battery, because the small ones just cannot supply the, like, sufficient amount of voltage to the wheels and such when it has to, like, carry heavy loads, and given what we're currently attempting to use the Recon Rover for, heavy loads are very much in its future. And I have got the schematic for solar panels on my bar, and that is because, turns out solar panels lying flat don't actually get much in the way of sunlight. So I need to modify the rover such that it actually catches more light when it's trying to recharge. And also there's a whole bunch more stuff that we need to, like, get through and get done and whatnot around here. But yeah, we need to modify the rover so it's a little bit more beefy, for lack of a better term. Okay, looking for all of the stone. Which, boy, there's a lot of it. Gee. Okay, yeah, I'm taking this thing every time I have to go drilling, because this is a lot of material. Way more than I can carry. In fact, like this is 2 trips just by itself there. Oh, it's lovely. Why didn't I build this thing sooner? I don't know. Maybe because I feared that the guy without a driver's license would be the one driving it. And also building it, which is probably 2 different kinds of terrifying. But okay, we'll get this processed, and then I can get to work on step 1 of making this better. So, all of the stone has been taken out of the rover, shoved into the refinery, and then that's been turned into iron and all sorts and shoved into the assembler. I've now taken out my little corner lights here, and that's fine. They'll probably come back in some fashion anyways. Because I don't have a solution for a storage device on the station here just yet. But there are a few other ways for me to actually connect these two together without losing access to every part of them, and one of those is a conveyor junction. A conveyor is basically just a means of transporting items from one place to another, and the junction we added pretty much with the eye that we are going to have to be sending a lot of materials around because we don't necessarily have the manpower to be doing it all by hand. So let me just grab some interior plates, and then it's going to be interesting trying to place this, or trying to build this, but we do that, okay. And you need another 14 of that. Well, you know, we just happen to have that. I actually don't know why we have that, but we have it nonetheless. 20 small steel tubes. We should be able to manage that. Yeah, it's the metal grids really that have the cobalt that we were worried about. everything else, yeah, we can more or less manage. More or less. That's why we were looking for the cobalt for so much. Okay, 6 motors and 10 interior plates. Can I just get an eye there, please? Thank you. Was that 6 motors? Yes. And another... 6 motors, 10 interior plates. Okay, that's fine. What I need to know is, does this have an inventory access at the front? So that I don't cut off my access to both of these. That's the main thing. Thankfully, the Recon Rover carried about 300 worth of iron, so we're not really lacking in that too much. There you go. Okay. Ah, I can't access this. Okay. So there's another thing that we need to do in order for me to actually use this, and that's to actually add a conveyor. Now that's actually advantageous to us, because a conveyor of this exact same type is also used to connect to things like on-board conveyor systems, like the storage of the rover. Okay. Do I still have steel plate on me? Now granted, this is quite a bit bigger than I expected, but it should be fine. We just need to get this to the functional stage, and then I should actually be able to access all the stuff again. In the meantime, I'm probably just going to have to dismantle this antenna, which is not doing us much good right now anyways.
Inventory full.
Can any of that inventory go into here? A bit. We're going to have to start shipping stuff between the, between here and the rover. But, the rover's much lighter now, so hey, there's that. And I mostly want to get this done. Oh, and you're completely out of power. Switch you to auto then. So yeah, that's one of the main problems, is this doesn't get good power when it's on its side. A fair few times I've had to just dismantle it and then reconstitute it facing upwards. So we're gonna do that right now.
Inventory full.
Right after I shove some stuff into it. Just for safekeeping, I guess we'd call that. There we go. Fortunately, a solar panel is not the most expensive thing in the face of the planet. So, there we go. It's not gonna get much right now, because the sun is pretty far below the horizon, but at least now it'll let you catch some sun. And meantime, we can keep using it. Just for storage. So there's that. Ugh. 92 steel plate. Oh boy, that's gonna be a little bit while in the crafting. Okay, right, well, catch you all at sunup. Okay, a little bit of faff later, and the Recon Rover is completely out of power now, so I really have to just wait for the sun to start hitting it. That shouldn't necessarily take too long, though, so we've got that going for us. I still can't believe we actually managed to find that just on the way home, after I went 7 kilometers away. It's not even half of one. Anyways, we have the conveyor up now, the actual connector. So now I can access the inventory of the refinery as well as the assembler. Can move things around happily as can be. So now I don't actually have to worry about just shuffling things around. I just have to order it up in here and then grab it out whenever I need it, which is glorious to say the least. And what I need to do now is actually connect a connector up to the back of the Recon Rover, so we can actually like drive it up to this and connect it, and then we'll just be able to see everything going on. No worries. But obviously the power situation kind of needs seeing about in the very near future, because we don't have any power situation right now, because we don't have any power. So I'm going to take off the back of this just a little bit, I think. We shouldn't need to take all of this. Make sure I don't just activate my grinder. Speed, yeah, I can see that. And we also use that to power everything else on me. So I gotta be careful. Okay, there you go. A little bit touched up there. There you go. Okay. Now the connector for vehicles is not nearly as large as the one for the actual station there. But of course, it does take components that we don't currently have a whole ton of access to, and we need to go and grab a whole bunch of supplies, so it's going to have to wait. But the plan for solar panel is that we are going to actually attach a rotor to this, as well as a couple of beefy batteries to replace the ones that are underneath there. Of course, we are going to have to just sort of find our way through that to, like, get rid of the ones in there. Because right now, it's full of stiffs, and we need to make sure that we have all the stuffs out there before I start dismantling cargo containers, because they'll just fall everywhere and be a pain in the neck. So I'd like to see if I can get this thing on blocks. See if we can get this, like, elevated, which might be a bit of an ask, but we could do that. And then we're going to actually put a rotor on this so that the solar panel can tilt up and down without me having to dismantle it every single night. And every single day, I guess. Hey, and if I have time, bearing in mind my hours are a bit wild today because of just transit mostly, we might be able to get a start on mining. Might. We'll see. Okay, brief piece of bad news, everybody, which is that my suit is out of power, and apparently so is Sycamore 1. So we're gonna have to wait for the sun to come up, which shouldn't take too long. It's mostly just on the other side, more or less behind me.
No energy.
Like, literally it's right there. So it's gonna get toasted, it's gonna get chilly inside of my suit very soon. But my ASS, being as insulated as it is, will probably be okay for a little bit of a while. And I just have to wait for that to come back online, more or less, and then we should start getting some light. But that will take sufficiently long that I think this is the end of my report for today. So the report of the day is, surprisingly, we have identified the existence of cobalt in the world, and we're now going to be connecting our rover directly up to our station, and things should streamline from there onwards, hopefully, because I can drive the rover over to my mines over there and dig everything out and shove it in the rover and drive it back and hook it up to that, and things will be good. But we'll have to get that working in my next report. So, hope you've enjoyed. Hope you're all okay back home. I don't know how Sycamore 1 ran out of power, but yeah, who knows. Yeah, there's the battery right there. Much bigger. That battery right there is bigger than the one on the rover. Just for comparison purposes. But, yeah. I will, catch you in my next report. Bye, everybody.